Greetings, James Patrick here, founder of Slam Academy and pilot member of the Ableton Certified Trainer Program. Are you tired of watching tutorials without any personalized feedback or real human interaction? Well, Slam Academy is an interactive music education environment where you create your own original music with personal guidance of our expert instructors. Our membership includes a massive course library that is accompanied by over 24 hours a month of direct contact with our staff of professional music producers and 24-hour access to our private Discord server for track feedback, tech support, and more. This is the best music education product on the market. All you need is a laptop and a desire to create. We'll help you with the rest. Enjoy these samples from our video course library and be sure to subscribe to our channel and like these videos, of course, to learn more. Join our community at www.slamacademy.com. Let's get to it. All right, so where we last left off, we were stacking up different square waves and different overtone combinations at different pitches to create different emotional qualities. This is kind of sounding like this stuff. A little more beat on there. You want it to rub a little? Move that. All right, so that's fun. You can get into all sorts of chorusing thickness sounds. But beyond that, it's important that we understand how to not only use our vocal cords, but also how to use our lips and mouth. Ow. That analogy relates to the filter and also the amplifier. So the Ableton Analog is a great teaching tool because it can go from left to right, like pretty much all of Ableton's devices with its signal flow path. And so beyond just stacking up some oscillators, we can turn on our filter. And if we keep this in low pass mode, this allows the lows to pass. This frequency knob sculpts the overtones. So you can even see that slope cutting off. This is the filter allowing the lows to pass. As I bring the cutoff down, I'm rolling off the sharp corners. Now look at my geometry in the oscilloscope. That shit is trippy looking. So what's happening is you can see two different waves, right? You've got the low square and then the square that's a perfect fifth up with a little detune. That's where all that vibration and motion is happening. And then what used to be sharp cornered square waves are now smooth and rolled off, more like a sine wave. You can even see the two notes that are being evoked by the oscillator that are a perfect fifth apart. In fact, just like we did before, if I hit semitones, you'll be able to see right now, like if I play a C, it's a C and an E. Pardon me, a C and a G. Pardon me, E is a perfect fourth, but C and a G, and you get into these nice, clear, consonant intervals that you can see, no pun intended. And then when you open this up, you'll see all those other harmonics coming through as the geometry of the wave gets more sharp. So looking at that, we can see that we have vocal cords going through our lips and mouth. Wow. That's a pretty understandable analogy, I believe. And then looking beyond that in our signal flow path is when our amplifier kicks in. And this basically is just a volume knob where we can turn up or down our sound. Now, as this relates to our Ableton Analog and our signal flow path, you always want to look at the output little tiny meter here, because it's kind of our job to make sure that we never go in the reds here. So usually you can start with this around like -12 or something like that, with our volume right around 0 on the master output, and you'll be able to stay way clear from the reds, and you can just mostly focus on sculpting the overtones of your oscillators with your filter frequency. Oscillator, filter, amplifier. That's the audio path. I want to take a second to look at a diagram I made probably about 20 years ago. It still relates. Is in a subtractive synthesizer, the oscillator generates the signal. That sets the waveform and the pitch, and you can detune it. You can also sync multiple oscillators together. We'll talk about that in an upcoming video. The oscillators go out and go through a filter or two, and that filter has a mode like low pass in the mode we just looked at, a cutoff, which is the tone control, and then the resonance, which boosts the cutoff, and we'll talk about that too in upcoming videos. Then the audio goes out the amplifier, and the gain is really the main control there. Those three modules make up the subtractive synthesizer audio path. Where things get interesting is when we make stuff move. So movement, in other words, modulation, is when we turn on things like an LFO. The LFO, or the envelope, that's dedicated in each of our main modules. There's the amp LFO, here's the filter, amp envelope, here's the filter envelope. These evoke motion to the patch. So for instance, if I turn my LFO sine wave to a nice kind of medium frequency, somewhere around 4 or 5 hertz, that's 4 or 5 times a second, I could go to my volume of my patch and I could turn up the level modulation from the LFO. Turn this up a little bit now. We can see and hear that kind of tremolo, which is controlled by this rate. Bring that cutoff up a little more. Turn that volume down, make sure we stay in the reds on our VCA there. So notice how that LFO is giving us motion. Again, turn it on and head to one of our targets. In this case, we did amplifier level. You could also do, a really popular one is filter cutoff. That's like, whoa, 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 whoa. It's your lips and mouth moving up and down. So the LFO evokes motion, and so does the envelope. If you look closely at each of our modules' envelopes, we'll be able to control things like sustain level and decay time, as well as attack time and release time. We're going to be looking deeply at this, but here I can go to my filter envelope, maybe make like a pluck shape, and I can evoke modulation to the frequency knob from the envelope. And I'll zoom out a little bit on my oscilloscope so you can see that whole wave. You can see right when I pluck the note, in fact, for about 170 milliseconds, that tone of the waveform is bright. And the filter's closing really quickly and maybe going really low. Or less low. How about some little more of a whop? So yeah, this is the whole subtractive synthesizer architecture. The audio passes from the oscillator through the filter to the amp, and then the LFO and the envelope, as well as the keyboard, evoke motion. The keyboard sets the oscillator pitch, of course, but can do a whole bunch of other things, in particular triggering our envelopes and even setting the phase of our LFO. There can be patch cables all around in this environment, but on a really low level, the subtractive synthesizer is laid out just like this. Take a screenshot of this or else check it out. It's in your course documentation. But definitely next time when you're looking at a big Moog modular, or maybe the modulars at Slam Academy, and you see all these patch cables going all over the place, they're all generally following these purposes. So we're kind of decoding the nature of the analog synthesizer as it relates to these different modules being interconnected to create sounds that, meet our imagination. And I'm happy to be your host on this tour through analog synthesis at Slam Academy. See you in the next videos.
Slam Academy is an Ableton certified training center offering courses in sound design, mixing and mastering, and more. www.slamacademy.com.